2025 is officially coming to an end, but before we head right into 2026, I want to present to you the first ever Sanchie Awards. What are the Sanchie Awards, you might ask? These are my awards that I am giving to WWE superstars for their hard work in 2025, or their lack of hard work. And to start things off with the very first award, we are doing the Male and Female Superstar of the Year. For the men's, I feel like this is an obvious one. I'm going with John Cena. Although we had the ups and downs from John Cena's retirement tour, and we know all about it because I ranked all 36 John Cena tour dates in a tier list, if you want to check that out. While some segments and a lot of the storyline plot was kind of all over the place, John Cena was the focal point of the entire year, and when it came time to wrestle, he didn't have a lot of bad matches. If anything, most of his matches were pretty good to, like, amazing. And he actually had a 5-star match this year, which is crazy. 48 years old in his final year, having a 5-star match. So my pick for Male Superstar of the Year is John Cena. Now for the Female Superstar of the Year, I am going with Becky Lynch, and this is very debatable. Just understand where I'm coming from. My original pick was going to be Naomi, but unfortunately, with her having to stop wrestling because she's pregnant, which, again, congratulations, her story was cut short this year, which is exactly why I'm taking Becky Lynch, because Becky Lynch returned at WrestleMania, teamed up with Lyra Valkyria, and on the very next night, she turns heel and went on a fantastic heel run, making the Women's Intercontinental Championship one of the most important titles in all of WWE. Her promos were hilarious. She's a great champion and one of the most interesting championship runs for the entire year, which is actually saying a lot because Triple H in championship runs is an issue. But she also had really good matches with Lyra Valkyria and even had great matches with Maxine of all people. So my superstar of the year is Becky Lynch. Now for my breakout star of the year, I don't think it's really a contest, and it is Naomi. Basically, I'm reiterating what I was saying before, is starting off this year with the Royal Rumble going into the Elimination Chamber, we were wondering who was the mystery person that attacked Jade Cargill, and it turned out to be Naomi. And we find that out with Jade Cargill coming into the Elimination Chamber and immediately attacking Naomi, starting her heel run, which was excellent. I was enjoying everything she was doing, and then to cap it all off, she wins Money in the Bank, and then cashes it in an epic moment at Evolution, becoming the Women's World Champion. Now for Return of the Year, it is going to be none other than AJ Lee. This is simply never say never. This is like CM Punk 2.0. There was always rumors, there was always rumblings that when CM Punk came back, that maybe AJ Lee would finally come back. And in this year, in 2025, she finally did. Awesome return. I seriously couldn't believe it. Hearing that crowd erupt, AJ Lee finally back in WWE, truly a never say never moment. This is my return of the year. Then we go to entrance of the year, and I don't think that it's even close. My entrance of the year is John Cena in his final match at Saturday night's main event. The aura and the crowd and the environment that we were in for Saturday night's main events for John Cena's last match truly was epic. Experiencing his final entrance was truly special. Him being draped and surrounded by gold. And my favorite part of the entire thing is after he tells Stu one last time running down the ramp, and they get the shot of him running down, the crowd erupts. So he's literally just surrounded by everybody with the arms coming out, and everybody's cheering, going nuts when he runs down that ramp. And then he gets in the ring, sees his old foes like RVD, Mark Henry, Booker T, Elias, Kevin Owens. One of my favorite entrances of all time in John Cena's final match. Next, we have the stage of the year, and this one, I'm going to give it to WrestleMania 41. I'm very vocal about the stages, and I hope that this is the starting point of maybe somebody will see that we want better stages in WWE. But for what it's worth, I think WrestleMania 41 overall was a good stage. I just felt like it was a little bit lifeless. It's the only legit big stage with like an actual design that we got. The more you look at it, the more you realize like there's not a lot to it. So it is a little bit boring in a way, but I do want to shout out Clash in Paris for their Eiffel Tower stage, even though it's not really that much of a stage, but I just like that part of it, and the Crown Jewel one for what it's worth. Next is going to be the PLE of the entire year, and for this, I am giving it to the Elimination Chamber. The women's match started crazy with Jade Cargill returning and attacking Naomi, and then we have the men's Elimination Chamber, which was also very good. There were some questionable parts in the men's Elimination Chamber, but overall, with John Cena winning, heading into WrestleMania in the main event was very exciting. And then the incredible, amazing John Cena heel turn. Obviously, hindsight is 2020, but for one night only, that shit was crazy. One of the most entertaining PLEs of the entire year, no questions. Next is the PLE theme of the year, and we're going right back to Elimination Chamber with A New Way Out by Poppy. This is the only theme song that sounds something even remotely close to something from the Ruthless Aggression era or like the late Attitude era where we started getting rock songs. This is like Disturbed and Evanescence kind of if they had a baby. And it's the closest thing we're getting. But this theme song literally stands out from the rest. If you listen to all the theme songs throughout the year, this is the only one that sounds anything remotely close to something like this. And I think it fits very well, and it fits the Elimination Chamber style. So this is my PLE theme of the entire year. Next is my most improved, and this is going to Maxine Dupree, and I don't even think it's close. I believe it was a year ago where she was wrestling on house shows, and the crowd was actually chanting, "You can't wrestle, you should quit," and it actually started a nice little storyline for Maxine because of Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch jokingly gave her a shot at the Intercontinental Championship, and it was a lot closer than people were going to think. And it really helped to show her ability and how much she's improved since that time where people were booing her out of the building. And then eventually beating Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental Championship at Madison Square Garden, where I was there. It was awesome. I was so happy for Maxine. She's definitely put in the work to be given the award Most Improved. Next is the men's and women's moment of the year. And the first one up is going to be for the women's, and that is going to be Naomi's cash-in. I chose this because I actually thought Naomi was going to cash in at SummerSlam. I figured they would have waited until they were at a big show with more eyes on it. But in what was a fantastic match between Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, Naomi does the unthinkable, and she actually cashes in her Money in the Bank briefcase, becoming the world champion, beating Io Sky and Rhea Ripley in a shock moment. And we were just waiting for that moment where she finally became world champion, and she did, and it was awesome. Then for the men's is going to be John Cena's heel turn, simply because the moment itself with The Rock and Cody Rhodes and Travis Scott. Some people called it. I didn't really think they were going to actually do it simply because it was during his retirement tour. I figured they wouldn't have enough time to do something like this, but they pulled the trigger, and it was shocking, and it was awesome to see. It's still one of my favorite moments of the year, regardless of what happens after. I still love this moment. John Cena turning heel is my men's moment of the entire year. Now we're going to do the most hated this year. Simply put, Brock Lesnar. Shocking return, waste of a match at WrestlePalooza, and they could have just had him show up at Survivor Series and it would have hit just as good. To have Brock Lesnar show up and destroy John Cena during his retirement tour, getting no payback for it, is bullshit. So, most hated of the year, Brock Lesnar. Next is my feud of the year, and this one, believe it or not, is going to be Triple H versus the fans. With the growth of social media and people having a voice, it's so much louder now of when people are not happy and people are dissatisfied. And while I agree with a lot of the things, I don't agree with everything that people are upset about. And I feel like some people think they have too much power, and they think that they should be running the show. It's a weird time because now we're adjusting to, sometimes WWE give the fans what they want when they are complaining, and sometimes they don't. And when they don't give them what they want, it's like all hell breaks loose. So the feud of the year, definitely this year, is the fans versus Triple H. Next is my worst match of the entire year, and I don't even think this is close. It's Brock Lesnar versus John Cena at WrestlePalooza. And my issue with this is they hyped this up like it was two titans clashing in a big debut of ESPN, and you thought it was going to be this whole big thing, and it just turned into a rehash of their SummerSlam match when Brock Lesnar absolutely dominated John Cena. And it's something we didn't want to see. It's not something that we wanted to see on the retirement tour. Like, we wasted a John Cena date just to have Brock Lesnar beat the shit out of John Cena. And Brock did not look good in that ass whooping. He looked gassed. He looked tired. I feel like they should have had Brock Lesnar versus John Cena at Survivor Series, straight up Extreme Rules 2011 style, and have John Cena get his win back, because the fact that he got nothing out of it is ridiculous. But of course, I'm not going to end on a bad note, because last but certainly not least is my men's and women's matches of the year. This one is going to be just a huge debate because everybody has different preferences for matches. So for me, my match of the year is going to be John Cena versus Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. This was a complete 180 of their WrestleMania 41 match, and it delivered on all aspects of what you would want in a street fight. It had table spots, it had chairs, it had everything. It was brutal. They even dismantled the ring. Like, it was everything you would have wanted in a John Cena versus Cody Rhodes street fight. And to me, realistically, John Cena could have retired right there that night, and I would have been okay with it. I thought the match was excellent, and I was just blown away, and so were other people. This match actually got a 5-star rating from Dave Meltzer. Dave Meltzer's word is not king, but the fact that he gave him a 5 stars, it's just cool to see. There's so many good matches, though, so I would love to hear some of yours, but definitely Cody Rhodes versus John Cena at SummerSlam is my match of the year. And for the women's match of the year, I am easily taking the triple threat match at WrestleMania between Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair. This match is incredible. The pacing is fast, and it's just 3 of your best workers in the entire company, and Io Sky being maybe the best wrestler in the whole world. Opening up night 2 of WrestleMania, this could have been the main event. It would have been fantastic. I love this match. This match is excellent, and it's hard-hitting. So for me, the women's match of the year is easily the triple threat at WrestleMania 41. So those are my Sanchie Awards for 2025, and we are going to do this again next year, and the year after that, and the year after that, and the year after that, you get the point. Follow me on Twitter at @TheMikeSanchez_. Follow me on TikTok at @TheMikeSanchezShow1. I would love to just interact with some of you guys a little bit more, and I like to tweet a lot of bullshit. But I would love to hear your awards or what you would change or things you would disagree on. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you in the next one. Happy freaking New Year. We gear up for 2026, a bigger and better year.